we can start again and pretend it's all okay.
Yeah.
Just pick it up from right there.
Yep.
That point.
Okay.
Just,
That might have been too weird.
I was about to say, I really hope it's being recorded. As I promised my mother that she could watch it. She can't stream anything. Her internet's too bad for that, but she can watch videos. So
Good.
I promised my mother it was there, and if it's not, she gonna kill me.
Yeah, my other half's mum is apparently going to be watching this. I've heard that it might be up on the family TV in the living room, so we'll see.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
that's exciting.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, bringing it back in. So looks like we've got our first technical difficulty sorted, and right now
Many more to come.
we're gonna do some introductions. I am the host and dungeon master for this game, the friendly dungeon master, aka Hobart. Yeah, this was something that I wanted to do, and so far it has been absolutely lovely working with these guys. So I'm gonna let them go around and introduce themselves. Let us start with let's go with D.
Okay, I was gonna say save the best for last, right? But no, it's okay.
I did. Hannah's going last.
Oh, well, you got a point. So hi, I'm DeForest Koenig. I don't know if I should put my name out on the internet, but I don't really care. Decoded Dungeon Master on Twitter. I do a lot of things. I've been gaming for a really long time. I'm not running through that in the stream because we only have a limited amount of time. So, hi. Are we doing character introductions as well, or?
Sure, you can say your character's name and what they are.
All right. So I'll be playing Gormer Songwood, a Furbolg monk of the Way of the Sun Soul.
All right. Next, let's move to Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I also go by a tag name Innkeeper's Gem. I do commission map making with Incarnate, and I'll be playing Lord Oswald Osborne, the halfling sorcerer of wild magic.
Very nice. Okay.
Me.
Jeremy.
All right, I'm Jeremy at Remy Johns on Twitter. DMing for a while, mostly Curse of Strahd type stuff, and I'll be playing Stitch, a Tabaxi rogue swashbuckler.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go with Hannah next because it's just next in the order.
I'm Hannah. Currently, I am running a Viking-themed campaign on my YouTube channel, which is Opheliac, like the Emily Autumn song, but with a X over the E. And I am going to be playing a half-moon elf druid named Pacifica.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. And last we come to Ed.
Hi, I'm Ed. Ed Time Stories on Twitch or Underachiever 26 on Twitter for very good reason. I'm going to be playing Barakil, the Aasimar Paladin of the Crown, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, we also have just a couple of quick announcements that people wanted to get through. So let's go to Hannah again.
So I already plugged my YouTube, but I do want to plug my best friend, Amber, who I think we're going to be going to for our character art for this campaign. She's great. You can find her like everywhere on every social media at Jade Bubbles with an underscore. And I highly suggest you check her out because quality art at good prices, though.
Yeah, and we actually do have an example of her artwork that she did for Gormer. Yep, I've got it right here.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
Sunny boy.
Yes.
All right.
It's a fantastic deal. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Chris, you already talked about your maps. How do people get in touch with you about that?
Yeah, if you find me on Innkeepers D20 on Twitch, not Twitch, on Twitter, I was part of one of the beta developers for Incarnate. So I've been with them from the beginning, and I then got to purchase a professional kit. So I have a lot more of the sprites that people who use the free option don't have the ability to use. And I make campaign maps, small village maps, regional maps, whatever you need for your campaign. I can make them for you, and we talk about pricing based on what you need.
All right.
Excellent.
Fantastic. And we actually do have a sixth member, Quentin Lee on Twitter, Quentin_Lee. He could not be with us for this session. He'll be kind of dropping in and out as he is able to. But yeah, go give him a follow on Twitter and just say hi and let him know how excited you are to see him on the stream. And with that, I believe that is all of our announcements.
I think so.
And we are now ready to begin this adventure in the homebrew world of Osiria.
Hell yeah.
On the continent of Telaris, in the capital city of Talim. We begin with our heroes, quote-unquote heroes, being brought before the fourth keeper of the flame, Perrin Yaitara. These individuals have been disgraced, cast out from their societies due to some infraction or misunderstanding, and are now being punished by their superiors, being sent to the Keepers of the Flame to kind of whip them into shape. As we meet them, they are currently being led through the passages of the Flame Barrows, where the Flame Keepers make their home, and they are currently flanked by 4 city guards. The city guards are, one is a human male, kind of blonde hair and green eyes, looks to be about mid-20s with a scar on his right cheek. You have a human woman with black hair and brown eyes, and she's missing 2 front teeth, which gives her kind of an odd lisp to her speech. She looks to be about middle-aged. There's a half-orc male, no hair, completely bald, no facial hair at all, and he hasn't said a word to you guys. And then the last, the leader of the 4 guards is a half-elf of indeterminate gender. You haven't really gotten a beat on that, with silver hair, and they've actually spoken to you once when they came to collect all of you, and it was very terse and very to the point. And you're currently being led through some long, curved tunnels underneath the Flame Barrows. These tunnels curve in a wide arc, sort of a half-moon shape, and they are made entirely of stone. And as you look a little closer at the stone, they are fitted together incredibly well. It seems magical in nature as to how all of these bricks seem to kind of lay into one another, and where any seam is visible, you can see rune markings along the edges. And any of you who have been in Talim long enough would know that these walls, every wall in the city that surrounds the Flame Barrows and the Tower of the Flame, are magically reinforced. So you are led through 2 sets of doors. The first is just a normal wooden door upon first appearance, but as you kind of pass through it and look at the frame above it, you can see more of those runic markings, and you gather that there's probably some magic at work here as well. And the second set is a large double-sided door that is made of some type of metal, and as they swing open, they open soundlessly. There's no squeaking, there's no scraping, it's just an opening. And as you enter, with the 4 guards flanking you, 2 on either side, you can see a large circular room with marble busts of former high keepers of the flame sitting on stone columns in a wide circle around the room. And in the center of these columns is a large desk with some very neat stacks of paper on top of it. And at the desk, you can see, with her head kind of bowed, writing feverishly, is a dwarven woman with kind of stringy blonde hair that's pulled into a tight bun at the back. And she has a long yellow beard that is braided very neatly and tucked into her waistband. And as I said, she's kind of writing feverishly and doesn't look up as you guys enter. But she kind of puts a hand up and motions to the guards. 2 of them exit the room. The 2 human guards exit, the male and the female. So the half-orc and the half-elf are left standing next to that large set of metal double doors that you entered through. And as they exit, you kind of gather that this is the 4th keeper, Perrin Yaitara, and she kind of sighs heavily and sits up, kind of rubs her face a little, and she looks very tired. And she comes out from behind the desk and begins walking towards you with a clipboard style thing in her hand, and she's reading from a sheet of paper, and she is reading your names, and like she's going to each of you in turn and reading your name and what brought you to this situation, why you are here. So what I'm going to do is have each of you tell the audience as much or as little about why you are here as you would like. We will start once again with Gormer.
All right. So it actually kind of goes hand in hand with Stitches as well. So, would you want to explain this through our characters' voices, or just through a brief explanation?
However you wish.
All right. Gormer was brought in to the Crimson Pommel on promise of information, and was really unsure of what he was supposed to be doing, and his morals got in the way of the job, which resulted in his disgrace and expulsion, or removal from the current position.
And for everyone playing the home game, the Crimson Pommel is the name given to the Thieves Guild in the city of Talim. They are widely known throughout the city. And so Gormer was tasked with a job for them and failed at that job. So that leads us into Stitch.
All right, Gorm and I are kind of been palling around for a while. We met outside the city and kind of joined the Crimson Pommel together. He's kind of the Chewie to my Han Solo. You know, I'm kind of his right-hand man, and we kind of stick together. And so I guess having his back, we kind of got in trouble at the same time. So that brought us here together.
Okay. All right. Let's go with Ed.
Yeah, so Barakil was he was a member of the Durrani, who are the like diplomatic and military force in the south of the region, and he was part of the diplomatic guard on a mission where a noble who he was supposed to be protecting did something that didn't align with Barakil's morals, and through the judgment of his god, he executed this noble. Unfortunately, this didn't sit particularly well with the other people that were supposed to be doing the diplomacy, so he was sent far away very quickly to be punished. He was sort of expected to be executed. He handed himself in. He didn't try and run, but he was sent here instead.
Okay. All right, and now we come to Pacifica.
So, poor Pacifica. I will note that she definitely looks like she's been crying a lot. Despite being like the foster child of the leader of the druid circle, she ended up in a situation where, due to constantly leaving the Shadespeak forest, she became the easiest person to blame for an ornery action carried out by some of the less notable and less well-behaved members of the circle that got sent to the Keepers of the Flame to get straightened out. And despite events that have happened in her past, she was unable to even bring herself to speak and defend herself. So no one has even heard her side of the story yet.
Okay. And last but not least, we have Ozzy.
Osborne sits very small compared to all these other people surrounding him, and he's terrified. He doesn't want to be in this room, and he begins pleading with the keeper, Itara. I think there's been a mistake. I don't think I'm in the right place. My father said I would just come here and, like, it would be a slap on the wrist, and this doesn't look like a slap on the wrist for that incident at the royal party. I know there was a lot of damage to the foundation, but my father said we could make a deal. You're not responding to this. I'm gonna be quiet.
And she kind of...
I think while you're trying to talk your way out of the problem, you probably see a single Barakil wears a white expressionless mask, which only reveals one of his eyes, and I think you feel that eye glaring into the back of your skull as you try and escape punishment.
Am I rooming with him? Is that what's happening? I don't like... He is not... Put me with the cat, please. I want to be with the cat.
At this current
not
situation,
Scary Angel Man.
Gormer looks like he doesn't really understand what's going on here. He looks kind of carefree, just kind of taking in everyone's stories. Huh.
And as this is all going on, Yatara is just she's just looking at her notes and scribbling as she does, and she kind of looks up at Ozzy. Your father. Aye. He did speak to me. This is what we worked out. This is your slap on the wrist for all the damage you
Dad,
did.
you suck.
Oh, that's something to take up with your dad.
Oh, I said that out loud. I'm sorry. Let's not repeat that to Theobald, please.
Aye. Do this, and we can talk. And she kind of looks at all of the rest of you. Any more questions?
Yes. What is happening here?
So,
I was collected and have been explained very briefly, but I'm not certain I see what's happening.
aye. For about 2-3 months now, there have been reports coming in from outlying villages of a strange portal appearing. This portal spews forth torrents of water and occasionally creatures. But each time, in a couple of hours or so, 2 men show up, they fix the portal, and they disappear. Now, we can't have this happening. This has been brought to the attention of the Flamekeepers, and so we've decided to send you lot out to investigate. You are to gather information on a new portal that has opened up in the city of Hoster. You will be taken there via teleportation. You will observe, and you will report back. Understood?
So this is like a volunteer service?
No.
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 Will there be per diem?
No.
Oh.
You get your freedom. That's it.
Excuse me?
Aye.
Can I have my dog back?
Your dog will be waiting for you at the teleportation circle.
Okay.
He
He'll
has
kind of lean over.
already destroyed one of my rugs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kind of lean over to Pacifica. It's good to see you again.
And she just makes a kicked puppy face.
When the firekeeper talks about the destroyed rug, you might hear a very quiet chuckle from behind a mask, but you don't see him move at all, so you're not actually sure it happened.
She kind of, like, she hears it, and she just kind of looks sidelong at Barakeel. And just makes another note on her little pad.
Are we being outfitted for this little adventure?
I already have an outfit.
She explains to you that you will keep all of your gear, all of your equipment. Pacifica's dog will be returned to her. And you will be given some items to aid you in your journey and she kind of motions forward at this point. And you guys see this little halfling woman appear, and she comes up, and she's wearing a long white robe, very simple, no embroidery, no decoration on it at all, and it's just tied at the waist with a leather sash, and she kind of bows to Yaitara as she enters, and introduces herself as Gatekeeper Absan, Absan for your notes. And she motions for you all to follow her. And at this point, Yaitara has already circled back around the desk and is continuing to scribble, not even paying attention to you guys. She has already dismissed you.
Okay. Well, do I know this halfling?
No, you would not have met Absan before.
Okay. So I look at the Asmar and I say, well, I think we got off to a wrong foot, but how about I walk behind you where we have to go, and I'll just take the notes we need.
Yeah, he looks down, like very down.
Ugh.
Barakeel is maybe 6'5" and built like a brick shit house, so he just sort of looks down at you and says, "Just be useful." And he might like offer his hands up to one of the guards so that they can take whatever manacles or bindings he's got on off him, so that he can go on with what he needs to do.
Yeah. So all of you, you guys weren't really bound when you were brought in, but yeah, the guards flank you once more, and Absan is kind of leading you out of the chamber. And as you exit Yaitara's chambers, you don't leave the same way you came in. You actually go off to to the right through another doorway, and you are led down a winding staircase. You go down the staircase for a solid 5 to 7 minutes underneath the flame barrows, even further. And as you near the bottom, you begin to see another large circular chamber, but this time there are 6 branching hallways out of it. So it's just a big circle, and then like spokes coming out of it in 6 different directions. And above each of them is emblazoned the name of a city or a village within the continent of Telaris. So you are led through one that says Hoster above it. And as you're walking, Absan just kind of absent-mindedly, like not really talking to you, just more talking to the air behind her. She's not really addressing you guys specifically, but she just explains that this is the private transportation hub of the Flamekeepers, and unlike the city circles that are heavily watched and regulated and are permanent, these are able to be changed if it's necessary, though that seldom happens. So she continues to lead you through a narrow hallway to, once again, another circular chamber. You get the feeling that the Flamekeepers like circles.
Me too.
And in the direct center of this chamber, you see what the arcane practitioners among you would recognize as a teleportation circle inscribed on the floor. And she motions to you all to stand within it. And as you each pass her, she is handing out these small glass vials of a reddish gold liquid to each one of you. So you can each put down that you have received a basic healing potion in your inventory. And after a quick assessment, she kind of figures that Barakil is probably the most responsible, or at least the most likely to follow orders. So she hands you a scroll and tells you that this is a sending scroll, and you are free to have one of the members of the party use it, or employ someone else to use it to send a message back to her or to Keeper Yaitara with news of your success or failure. And at that, she kind of stops, and she turns to you all and addresses you properly. And she says, "If you fail, probably best not to return, at least for a while."
Okay.
And then she reminds...
Splendid. What great positivity.
Now, I don't have a lot of experience with portals. Are you certain this is the right one I was supposed to be put to?
She kind of nods.
Oh. Okay. I'll do my best.
All right. So you each step within the teleportation circle, and
Happily.
like before she begins the spell, she kind of, again, very absent-mindedly and like it's like she's just remembering. She said, "Once you're in the village of Hoster, find Lady Haverston. She is the lady of the city of Hoster, and she will direct you to the next step of your journey."
Have we been given our equipment back?
Yes.
Or yeah. Okay. Good.
And Bjorn is waiting for Pacifica near the circle as well.
Yeah, when they go into the teleportation circle, she puts her hands on him and holds onto his halter just to make sure he's there.
Do you want to describe Bjorn real quick?
Yes, he is a big boy. He's by our understanding, an Alaskan Malamute. But in this
That's
world,
not a dog, that's a horse.
We can
Oh my
just refer
God.
to him as a Malamute. He is very, very fluffy, looks very well fed. He is a red and white Alaskan Malamute, with like the little white eyebrows over his eyes that are very expressionable. And he has a leather halter on that looks very similar to the kind of halter you would expect on like a modern day service dog. And it looks like it has like a hand painted like ocean wave on it. And he is a good dog.
All dogs are good dogs.
He good dog.
Except
And
for chihuahuas.
he seems to position himself between Pacifica and everybody else.
All right.
Gormer will offer a short wave and then a hand to Bjorn, just as kind of a hello
Bjorn
again.
literally looks at him and is just like slow eye squint and then does a nod.
I look at Pacifica and I ask her, does he get along with cats?
I maybe.
I'll keep my distance.
So as Stitch kind of moves behind Barakeel in between the large Aasimar and the dog,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to pee myself because I look like a chew toy.
Yeah. Barakil will probably, when no one's looking, like put his hand down for the dog to smell, and then
Oh,
put it behind the ear. But only when no one's
Bjorn?
looking.
of course.
Bjorn appreciates this. It's almost like an acknowledgement between warriors. Like he like sniffs hand and then does like this like nod and like situates himself to like puff out his chest.
Yeah. Yeah, Barakil will do the same.
Seeing them doing this, not really understanding, Gormer will try to do the same thing, just kind of big goofy smiles.
Pacifica's like, what is happening?
Osborne puts his hands in his face and says, "I'm gonna die."
We're all
I'm
going to
gonna
die,
die.
small boy.
With that,
Ugh.
Abson just kind of goes, "You very well might," and begins reciting a spell. And as she recites the spell, the runes on the floor around you all begin to glow and pulse with this vibrant white light. And with a bright flash, you all feel yourselves. It's very similar to the sensation of falling, but it's directionless. You just feel your stomach kind of lurch, and then you are immediately thrust forward into another room. This one is rectangular, so we're changing it up.
Awesome.
I don't like change.
A rectangular room with a large runic circle in the center of it, very similar to the one you just went into, and you gather that you have been transported to the village of Hoster. And in front of you stands very tall and very thin, dressed in a similar white robe as Absen, with a leather sash around the middle, is a dragonborn with brass scales, and in the ever-burning torchlight that flickers on the walls, the scales almost seem to glow. And he has two horns that kind of start at the brow ridges and very sleek, kind of curled back into these fine points at the back of his head. And he has both hands clasped in front of him, and he kind of rushes forward, and he walks with a little bit of a stoop. And as he comes up, he addresses you all in turn. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you.
And then he addresses Bjorn. Welcome.
Bjorn's just like, woof.
Oh. Yes, quite. Anyway, hello. You must be the people that were sent from Talim. Hello.
Hello.
This doesn't seem like we're in trouble.
Trouble? Trouble? I'm not in trouble. Are you in trouble?
Forgive her. We're actually not in trouble. We're just visiting.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
We're given special access to this on our way out of town.
Yes, we're the volunteers.
Someone must have lied to me at some point.
First roll of the game. Ozzy, I will have you roll a deception check with advantage because you have very earnest Gormer behind you backing you up.
Fantastic. Okay.
And I will roll against that. Oh wow. Yeah.
We're looking at a 14
against a natural 6. You win.
Oh. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So he kind of like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my father, Lord Theobald of the Good Barrel family, he has incurred some favors, so we're going to get to visit around the countryside. So if you could excuse us, we'll be leaving now.
But
yes.
I was told to bring you to.
I was going to say, Barakil, when he says he's going to leave, will just put his hand on the halfling's head and say, "Take off your trouble."
Does Ozzy respond?
Ozzy shuts up.
So
it's like, yep, okay.
The Dragonborn looks a little confused, but the two of you are just about equal height, but you do stand slightly higher than him, and you are a very imposing figure with the mask and the golden eye. So
how tall are these rooms?
The room is probably about 20 feet high.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not huge. But
Won't be banging your head on any sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter. My name is Brinko. And I was told to deliver you to Lady Sherelle Haverston, which is what I shall do.
They did say that name.
Indeed.
Who told you to deliver us?
I was sent a message by Yataro? Yeter?
Yatara.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Indeed. Lady Yatara.
She seemed very nice, but she wasn't really.
My interactions with her have been nothing but pleasant.
I
Maybe
assume
she
you're
is
not a
nice,
criminal.
Not last I checked, no. Are you?
Probably why. Yes.
Oh,
you are?
Oh, dear me, I should have brought guards. He's like very nervously backing up at this point, just like, follow me.
Thank you.
Oh.
A great start.
Barakil doesn't lie.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So, you guys are led up
We're gonna
another.
get along great.
You're led up another staircase. This one is rather short. You finish climbing it in about 30 seconds or so. It's very short, and you're led to a simple wooden door, no runic markings around the edges, and Brinko opens it and just kind of bows and gestures for you all to enter.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so I definitely enter, making sure the halfling in front of me now, so it's not.
Yep. Yes, I will go first. That's as the ambassador of the Good Barrels. Yep. Here I go in first. You sure I can't go last? I can watch everyone back. Nope.
I'll go first. If he's making a fuss, I'll step in first.
That's fine. I'm just making sure he's going through the door, not.
Oh, okay. I go in, kind of faking courage, and just stand very lordly.
All right. So as you guys enter, in stark contrast to the last chamber you were in, the officious chamber of Paran Yaitara, this space is brightly lit. It's very cozy feeling. It's not large by any stretch of the imagination, but it just feels warm and kind of inviting. The opposite of what you would expect an official's office to be. And it is covered with stacks of books and papers and scrolls everywhere. There is a path kind of dug out from all of this clutter that leads straight to a desk in the far corner, and the desk is also just stacked high with papers and books, and some of them are kind of scattered on the floor. It's a general disarray of this whole space, and you hear kind of the shuffling of paper, and then Brinko from behind you all, Lady Haviston, and you see just from here up of a head kind of pop over one of the stacks of books. Yes? The visiting people from Talim have arrived. And then he kind of bows and makes his way out. And so you hear kind of a slight as a small gnomish-looking woman appears from behind one of the stacks of books and behind the desk, and she kind of comes around, and she is dressed in a very fine set of robes that are tied at the waist with a golden cord, and her hair is a dark red, and it's kind of slicked back, and she wears just like a little headband, almost a circlet, but it doesn't actually go around the head, and it has a single green gem in the center of it, and she looks to be, for gnomes it's hard to tell because they live for so long, but she looks maybe middle-aged for a gnome, so probably around 150, 200 years, I believe is the anyway, middle-aged for a gnome, and so she kind of comes up to you guys, and she's just looking over all of you, and as she does, what does she see? We'll start with Gormer.
All right. So Gormer is tall, even for a furbolg, at about 8'1", and pretty slender. Although he does have a slight hunch to his form. He is rather pale, at a kind of pale bluish gray, with a soft pink tip to his nose and his ears. His hair and his beard look like they might have been taken care of at some point, like well shaved and well trimmed at one point, but it's been a long time since then. And the only bit of facial hair that he seems to be continuously removing is his mustache. His clothing, at the very base of it, looks almost like monastic garb. It is very simple, very loose-fitting vest, very kind of flowy pants, but they've been adorned with embroidery and some ribbons, a bit of a sleeveless coat, more that's just several long strips of clothing that have, or several long strips of cloth that have been kind of sewn and tied together to form sort of a long, flowy tabard almost. Mm-hmm. But he's not wearing any shoes. He's got wraps around his hands and his wrists. But in his hair, which is tied up into a very kind of bubbly, messy braid, comes down to about his mid-back, and all throughout his clothing he has flowers and beads and just sparkly things. And he's just, pardon the pun, but he has a very sunny disposition about him as he glances about, taking in just about everything, and his eyes have a very faint golden glow to them.
Okay. She kind of eyes you up and down, and it's just like, and then moves her gaze to Ozzy.
Ozzy is very short for a halfling in compared to other halflings, and he has a Nordic hairstyle of a warrior cut with short on the sides and long going down on the back. He wears a purple-hued tunic with gold trimming, and he has a cape that is made of white cotton with a purple trim, and he seems to be anxiously at this point keeps reshuffling a deck of cards in his hands, and they seem to slow down in his hands and speed up, and he continues playing with it, nervously glancing at his now jailer Asmar, and he keeps just has this look of half just panic and this big shit-eating grin of just nodding yep, I'm here. And he's wearing adventure boots, these nice leather boots that clearly have just been bought.
All right.
Gormer will be watching intently as he fiddles with his cards, just enraptured.
All right. Okay. Lady Haverston stops for a second as well and just kind of watches, and then kind of shakes herself out of it, and turns to the tabaxi, Stitch.
Stitch is kind of an odd one. He's one of those things that's so ugly it's cute. He's kind of a gray fur with black stripes, and he's mangy in spots, missing fur in spots, and he wears this Elizabethan collar around his neck, but it's not just for show, it's for function. He's got this wound on his right shoulder that he's had forever that just won't be able to heal, so that collar kind of keeps him from messing with that wound and licking at it. And he's got your standard leather armor, and like I say, he looks like a rough, beat up alley cat who knows his way around the world.
All right.
He's probably got since they've been traveling together for so long, he's probably got a flower tucked into his collar or two.
I most certainly do.
All right. So Lady Haverston, after shaking herself away from the cards in Ozzy's hands, kind of glances over to Stitch, and then almost immediately moves on to Pacifica.
So Pacifica is our only lady in the party. And when you look at her, you just get an immediate, blast of purple and blue and pink, and you almost have to blink really hard to make sure you're seeing those colors. She does have very long, wavy, almost indigo hair. She has a very cute baby doll face, with a button nose. You move down to her body, she is very voluptuous. The clothes that hang off of that curvy body are that of silk. Around the bust area, that piece of clothing does have boning in it to hold it all together. She has a lot of seashell accents, whether they be beaded into her hair or made into clip-on earrings. She seems very into the ocean vibe just from all the shells and all the blue going on. And she has a little tie, a little scarf around her neck, and she still looks like she's been crying a lot. And she still is being kept separated from the group by her dog. He has stuck glued to her leg this entire time. And she's probably keeping her eyes down. She doesn't want to be looked at. and if she is being looked at, she doesn't want to know it.
Okay.
So,
All right. And how does Bjorn react to the scrutiny of Lady Haverston?
his ears are definitely flat against the back of his head, and his tail, it's almost wagging with a type of excitement as if this person gets close, they have another thing coming.
Right. All right. And that brings us to Barakil.
Yeah, Barakil stands very tall for a human. He's 6'5". He has shoulder-length white hair that sort of flows down very loose. His skin is sort of an olive tan, but you can't see his face because he's always wearing, like, even when he didn't have any of his equipment earlier, he had always been wearing this white mask, which only reveals one eye, which is the symbol of his god. And yeah, he carries a extremely large greatsword and a lance, and basically he seems to move the minimum amount. Like, he's very stoic and unflinching, and he has pretty much been looking forward this entire time. Like, even when Oswald is trying to get away from the situation, he's still looking forward at the person talking to him, though you can tell he's clearly paying very close attention to people that might be trying to cause chaos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as Lady Haverston kind of takes in Pacifica, and like she just kind of not in a like a creepy way, but she kind of just eyes you up and down, just kind of confused, really. Like, what the hell did you do to end up here? And she just kind of shakes her head, looks down at Bjorn, and immediately turns away because the dog stands higher than she does. And then her gaze moves to the very tall warrior and starts at the feet and just kind of looks up. And she continues looking up. I won't, because I need to look at the screen. Just imagine, you know. As she's kind of looking at you and taking in the mask, a devotee? Don't have many of those around here.
Well, you would be devout too if you were given the powers I was.
Fair enough. Alright. You've all been sent here to take care of a problem that we've got.
Yes, I tried explaining that where we were before. I'm not very good with portals. I don't have any experience with them. I'm not certain this is the right job for me.
Oh, I think you'll do just fine.
Oh. Well, if you say so.
You're very cute. Has anyone ever told you that?
No, not often.
They should.
You're very cute too.
Oh.
Most small things are.
Oh, like she blushes at first and then immediately is just like, oh, well, fuck you too then. It's just like immediate 180.
He'll kind of put himself, get as low as he can to be on her level.
Okay.
I do like you though. We should be friends, and he'll extend a hand.
I agree. And she puts her hand out as well, but she puts it the palm facing down.
He will kind of fiddle and just kind of turn himself to shake hands horizontally.
Oh, all right. So
Pacifica probably looks at him after that and is just like,
Oh,
I'll tell you later.
all right. I'm happy to learn.
all right. God damn it. She kind of regains her stature and her composure after this.
Oh, stand back up as well.
Right. A short while ago, we were brought word of a strange hole in the air. About 3 hours ago. Apparently, a portal appeared over one of our farmers' lakes. It's more of a glorified pond, really. But regardless, this portal, according to this farmer, started spewing out monsters? Creatures? Not really sure what really he saw. He's not the most educated of folk. But I've been told that you are going to investigate.
Yes.
Yes, and about that stipend that was promised.
There was no snipe.
She kind of eyes you a little sidelong. Aren't you nobility?
Well, yes, I am, and like we do require like just compensation for our materials, but I send a message real quick.
I don't require compensation. Thank you.
I send a message. It's a level. It's a cantrip, and I send it to Barekio. I'm like, "You're killing me, Biggs. You're killing me."
Not yet. He says out loud.
Okay, so you say that out loud. All right. Osborne pees a little, and then like. Okay.
I have to get one of the scullery maids to clean that up.
Not that much pee.
He's only small.
That's fair. That's fair.
I prestidigitate and clean myself up. As soon as it's happening, get rid of the pee smell.
So she goes on to explain that she has actually sent guards out to investigate this, but when the farmer first came, but it's been about an hour and a half, and they have not returned.
How far away is this lake?
It's probably a good 20-minute walk. Not far. It's just outside of the village.
They can
And how many guards did
teleport
you
us to
send?
the village, but they can't teleport us to the problem. Oh, so powerful.
Beggars
She sent
can't be
2 guards.
choosers.
2 guards.
Yep.
I'll ask if they have mounts for us to get there quicker, or if we're just going to be walking like plebs.
Well, I'm afraid you'll be walking.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
I mean,
Me too.
he could probably ride the dog.
Nope.
My dog's
Nope,
not a mount.
I don't mount dogs. We're good.
My dog doesn't give rides.
If
I don't ride dogs either. No mounting, no riding.
Fair enough.
if you don't
fair enough.
want to walk, I could carry you.
I look at Gorn like, hey, man, you're forgetting about somebody over here.
I am. Oh, I'm really not that strong, but I could try.
Can someone carry me?
I can try.
Yeah, you could probably carry her for that distance if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
She's like 5'1".
Yeah.
because of being a furbolg, I get to count as large for things I can carry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah.
So easily enough, you can pick up Pacifica however you would like to phrasing. Ride Gormer.
Is there a stable in the village?
Aye.
When we're done here, I will go register a cart and a donkey, and I will ride myself. Thank you very much.
You're just gonna let the rest of us walk?
As you should.
I mean,
Maybe
It's-
Brachial
it's-
wants a
it's-
wagon.
it's
It
20
is
minutes.
very good for you.
It's 20 minutes.
It's fine. I will walk. I'll walk.
It's better to walk. You can take in all the surroundings, and it's a lot harder to find flowers when you're on a horse.
That's true. The
I
horses
kinda roll
step
my eyes
on them.
I roll my eyes at Gormer. It's like, oh, here we go again with the flowers.
Barrakill will look at the gnome and say, for this mission, are we required to bring the guards back alive?
If you find them alive, yes, please.
That's
And
a
if-
nice thing to do.
If they're dead, you want us to bring them back as well?
If
They'd be too heavy.
Not
I
if
could
they're in
try to
pieces.
carry.
just send word.
Then who would carry me?
Barrakill will look at the others and say,
What is this nonsense?
it's not
I'm
necessary
told I
to
have
find
to
them
walk.
alive. We can walk. And then he'll
Okay.
just start walking.
Okay.
Like, he'll ask for directions
yeah.
and then just be on his way.
So she kind of, Branko, and you see the same Dragonborn who's just kind of been standing outside the door, skulking in the background. Yes, Lady Haviston. Could you take these fine folk to the edge of the village and point them towards the lake? Yes, I can. Thank you. So he kind of begins walking out of the establishment, and unlike the flame barrows where you guys were before, this is on ground level. You're not underneath the keep, and he just walks out, and you guys are met with open air, and you're directly in the center of a village. And
How warm is the sun today?
I would say it's probably temperate. It's probably between 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is the Dragonborn guy still next to us? Is he with us?
Yes, he is leading you all.
I kind of pack him on the back and say, thanks, my good man, and I'm going to reach into his pockets. Does he have pockets?
Ooh. He is wearing a robe, like a very simple robe, but he does have a leather sash, and on the back of it there is a pouch. So,
Kind of rub him on the back and say, thank you, sir, and then...
make a sleight of hand check, please.
11?
Plus, is that total?
That's total. I shouldn't have rolled these dice earlier.
Well, he rolled a natural 11 minus 1. So, yeah.
I rolled a 14 for perception.
Okay. So you see this.
Wouldn't that be passive perception?
That's
Yeah.
I mean that's true. Yeah, passive perception is 13. So
Yep. So you do see
Oh,
it.
he sees it.
It's 11.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
So
I'm-
I definitely see that.
Yes.
But yeah, he gives you a glare, but we're in a rush, so he's not going to.
all right.
He's not
look at-
gonna
I
bring
look at
it up
Barrakill
now.
and I whisper to him, it's for the kids.
So as you kind of reach into this Dragonborn's pouch while patting him on the back, he's just staring straight ahead, just kind of almost like a tour guide, just telling you, and these are the fields in which the farmers plow their crops. Like just mundane, ordinary shit. And you reach in and you manage to find a single 6-sided die
All right.
and some jerky.
All right, fair enough.
He didn't carry much.
I look at, let's see. I'm gonna look at Pacifica and I'll be like, would Yorn like this jerky?
Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, just do that. Would you like this jerky, dog? Wait a minute, that's my jerky.
I don't think he'd have a problem with letting the dog have it. At least he's not going to try to stop the dog from having it.
Yeah, probably not. All right, so Brinko continues along, leading you guys towards the edge of town, and as you go, you pass a building that has a few people coming in and out of it, and looks like a merchant's shop of some kind. You're not really able to tell from here what manner of wares they are. You also pass an inn that has a sign out front that says vacancy. And everything here is a little run down. It's not it's not the bottom of the barrel, but it's definitely kind of an out of the way trading post style stop. It's not a thriving metropolis by any stretch of the imagination. And as you come to what Brinko kind of denotes as the edge of the village, the path continues along, and it's just a beaten dirt path that kind of leads north and then curves to the northwest. And he will tell you to follow the road northwest until you reach a set of fences, and then where the path diverges right through a field, if you go to the right, you will find the lake/pond in question. And then he kind of flourishes a bow and takes his leave of you.
Gorman will offer quite kind of mimic the flourish and offer a bow as well.
Okay. And he kind of like oh, thank you. And kind of darts away. He's not terribly used to Furbolg, it seems.
Probably not one as even if he was, probably not one as open as Gormer either.
That's true.
Gormer just likes people.
All right. So you guys are officially left on your own to find this lake. And I think that this is a good place where we can pause for a moment, take a quick break. We're going to have just a quick 10-minute intermission, and then we will be back.
Perfect.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. The adventure will continue very soon.
Excellent.
Stay tuned, everyone. All right.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
All right.
Excellent. Nobody's died in just a little bit of pee. Great.
Hey, look at that. We actually stuck to our time frame.
Yeah.
We're better,
Woo!
better than those other guys. I don't know who, but I don't know.
You know, those other
All
guys
right.
don't stick to their streaming.
Let's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
We're the
all right.
pros.
that fight.
No shade intended. So
No names will be mentioned.
none at all. So now that we are back into it, yeah, you have been led to the edge of the city and instructed to go to where the fences begin and continue along until the path turns right through a field, and you will see the lake/pond where this portal is. What are you doing?
Okay. I'll stand up in front of everyone, so everyone has to look down at me. And I just kind of look, and I go, it looks like the lady knows the cat and the tree man, and then there's me and Mr. No Fun.
Gormer's gonna look around at the
I
mention of the
actually
tree.
have a name.
I kind of sigh heavily. Yes, we all do have names, but like,
Oh,
what are we
I'm
doing?
Gormer.
We've been over. Oh God, we've been over this. Look,
We're going to a portal.
Yes, and I have no experience with those.
Me neither.
Do you have
But-
experience with monsters?
Yes, I have experience with monsters.
Well, you'll do just fine then. Come on, short
Oh,
man.
Uh,
And tall man.
well,
I'm not a man. I'm a halfling.
See, it's
Have
not
you
nice
ever
when people just
colloquialism?
call you like your gender.
he'll
I look
Yes,
down.
Pacifica.
kind of
I look-
squat down in front of the halfling.
Mm.
I thought you were a child.
He sure acts
I-
like it.
am 31 years old. Thank you very much.
Oh,
You will talk to me like an adult.
I look at Ozzy and I kind of put my paw out and extend my claws. I said, "We're here to do a job, and we're going to get it done. I want to go home."
Me too.
All right, all right, all right. Not even a keg for each of you will just let me walk. Keg of nice good barrel wine.
I
don't like wine.
could carry you if you like.
I look at Gormer. I say, "Put the halfling in your pocket. Let's go."
What?
You may enjoy the view from up here and just kind of pick him up, just gently, of course, just under the arms, just like you would a child.
Like holding him like.
Yeah, just kind of put him, just kind of.
Does Ozzy resist?
I am morbidly embarrassed that it's happening. I do not resist. I am in shock.
I will love him, and I will hug him, and I will name him George
We'll even put him up on a shoulder, just kind of hold his feet.
and burp him.
I
To be fair.
begrudgingly,
To be fair,
begrudgingly just cross my arms and just sit there, muttering under my breath. Just.
I do have experience with monsters, but none with portals. But I'm just a dancer, and I can sing. What do the rest of you do? And this will just be on the walk.
so as you're walking along, Gormer is making conversation, asking what each of you do.
Come on, Gomer. We've been together for a while now. You should know.
Well, yes, I've seen what you can do, but I want to know about our other friends.
Barakil will, he is not opposed to being conversational. He'll tell you that he was at one point in the diplomatic guard. He was once a cavalryman, hence the lance. And he's pretty much been fighting his entire life. So that's, like, as long as he's doing that, he's pretty comfortable. As long as things stay nice and ordered, he's fine with it.
Where's your horse?
It was killed.
Oh,
I want to ask Barakil what's with the mask.
He says that if you get in a fight, you'll find out.
All right. Like with me?
Well, sorry, if Barakil gets in a fight, find out. Doesn't necessarily have to be with you. He also tells you it is the symbol of his god, and it is a way of keeping order and structure.
So I do nature stuff.
Me too.
And this is my dog. He's strong. He does bite stuff.
Dog stuff.
He can actually fight, but we don't fight.
Does he like beef jerky?
I mean, if you want him to fart on you,
I just want him not to bite me.
you can try.
That's not a solid answer.
Well,
Just leave the beef jerky on the floor.
listen, I feed him all organic food. Not vegan, because that would kill him. Just, like all natural, no foul play, I don't know
So
where
not
those came from.
So not pheasant?
I don't know.
Puns.
I don't really know. I just asked my mom to help me.
Why
I
not ask for
also do.
assistance from God?
Nature things. I can grow plants. I can also speak to plants.
He
I
grows
can
some
become
really
an
good
animal.
plants.
I can nature. I can speak to plants. I kill things with little.
He's useless.
And what
Well,
do you do, small
small
friend?
man?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
That's all right. Whenever you're ready, we'll be happy to listen.
Not my dog. I don't think my dog likes him. And as you look at Bjorn doesn't seem to like any of you.
I kind of waved the jerky. I waved the jerky in front of him.
Years back. As you offer the jerky, like how far away are you waving it?
Probably a good 20 feet.
You can-
Well,
Why
he's not moving. He's not moving.
Well-trained dog.
Yes. He's glued to her side at all times.
Yeah, he just kind of like sniffs the air and then just kind of growls. Not in a threatening way, just like, man, I want that jerky, but I'm not leaving this spot kind of way.
The service dog struggle.
Yes, exactly. So as you guys are having this conversation and kind of wrapping it up, the road forks to the right, and you can see the path just kind of lead off through a about knee-high to Stitch grass field, and it's relatively flat, so you guys would be able to see. Well, actually, everyone make perception checks, please.
I'm good at that.
I am not.
That is
Ooh!
that's a
What
nat
a-
20 for me.
Nice.
I'm the exact opposite.
Oh, do I get
I got
What'd
a
you say?
natural
Perception
one.
check?
Yes,
first
please.
roll?
That's 25.
What a way to start a stream,
Oh,
huh?
actually,
16 plus 6, 22.
Okay.
19. My rolling an 18 felt good, but apparently it wasn't.
All right.
It's a
Ozzy, what did you
total of
get?
4.
3.
So
Would he have advantage because of his vantage point?
No, I'm pouting.
yeah,
I am not
he's not
paying
really paying
attention.
attention.
Gotcha.
So,
Me
yeah.
neither, apparently.
Too busy looking at flowers.
Yep.
So Stitch, Pacifica, and Barakeel, you all see kind of off in the distance. You see the surface of water of this pond, and it really is a glorified. Calling it a lake was generous. It's maybe 200 feet in diameter. Yeah, it's not a lake. And above the surface of the water, maybe 10 feet or so, you can see the shimmer in the air. And let's see, Stitch, you rolled higher. So you would be able to make it out first. You can see it's essentially just a big circle, but it's about 10 feet high and about 6 feet wide, and it just looks like a rip in the air. And as you guys are walking towards it, it doesn't seem to... It's odd because its perspective stays the same. Like, from where you are, it looks 10 by 6 feet, and as you get closer, it looks exactly the same.
Is
like,
it
the water
like a
gets closer.
specific color? Like the rip?
It's sort of a bluish white. Yeah, it just kind of seems to shift and shimmer between blue and whites. And as you approach it, based on those perception rolls, the three of you would also see breaking the surface of the water. Oh God, notes. Sorry. A sort of serpentine-looking head that is roughly 2 feet long, and then it just back into the water.
There's a big snake over there.
Oswald, look, daisies.
And how high did you say the grass was around the lake?
Why are
It's
we
about
looking at
knee-high to
daisies?
Stitch, so maybe
Because
1.5
they're very
feet.
pretty.
2 feet
How
So I'm actually
big
going to
did the
stealth
snake
mode,
tall. Okay, make a stealth check, please.
dive into this grass.
Okay.
and
That is a 17.
I'm gonna pluck a daisy and hand it to Osborne.
All right. So Gormer hands you a lovely.
You're really pushing this thing, aren't you, flower boy?
how big was the snake thing that we saw?
You saw its head, and it looked to be about 2 feet long.
The head was 2
that you
feet
saw.
long.
Yeah.
And wide.
Hard to tell from this angle. You just kind of saw
Okay.
it like this. Hard to tell
Okay.
any other proportions.
And if it's been immersed in the water, it would be like, you know.
Yeah. Either way, there is some kind of monster ahead. A snake. So
Well, what
Barricade
if
just
it's not a
draws his sword and holds it sort of down by his side.
Okay.
Now wait, what if it's not a monster? What if it's a friendly creature?
Then I shan't
There's a
cut its head
monster.
off.
What if it's like a docile creature that's just minding its own business?
Then I
Did you see a
probably
monster?
won't kill it.
But what if it's in our way?
He'll probably
He
kill it.
But that's awful.
He has a big sword and he's scary. I don't know what to tell you, but
Well, I have a sword too, and I'm not gonna kill it.
I don't see
I
it.
don't have a sword.
I don't say a thing because I assume I'm in hiding.
Yes. Yep.
All right, cool.
You feel very stealthy as you're kind of
Um,
slinking along in the grass.
So yeah, Barricade is not stealthy and shall not stealth into the underbrush, and he will just start walking forward and possibly use one of the javelins in his pack to poke the lake to see how deep it is.
Okay.
The pond, the
All right.
lake.
So as you step to the edge of the pond, the shoreline, it's
I'll
all
step
it's all
with him.
grass like leading directly up to the edge of the water, and it just abruptly ends, and then it's water. There's no shore really. There's no sand or anything because again, this is just basically a pond. But
So
you do see at your feet as you go to like test the water with the javelin. You see a bit of dented and broken bright blue armor.
Yeah. So Barricade will pick it up and examine it.
It is a helm. It is a helm. It has dents and nicks all in it, and it looks like scratch marks down one side. And it is definitely the color of cobalt guard armor that would possibly be sent out on a recon mission from the village of Hoster.
Okay, so yeah, Baragil holds it up and says, "The kobolds were here. It looks like they're dead now." And then he, tosses the helm to the floor.
Pacifica would like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
So
What's the radius on that?
The radius on Detect Magic
30 feet?
is... Yeah.
Okay. So you take a moment to cast the spell, and doesn't seem to
It's
be anything
concentration
magical.
up to a minute as well,
Yeah.
so you can move about.
Yep, doesn't
He
seem to be
will,
anything here that is magical.
Gormer will set Oswald down, being very careful to not set him in the water or on unstable ground. Just
Okay.
you should be okay to walk from here.
I'm literally in the grass now, with the grass taller than me in some of these wild areas. So I take my deck of cards that I've been holding, and I start saying a soft incantation, and the cards flutter about my body and then seem to harden, and I cast Mage Armor on myself. And so my AC is now 15, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get eaten.
Nearly as high as mine.
So I'm covered in a deck of cards.
All right.
That
That
is
is the-
very
That is the coolest use of mage armor I've ever seen. I just want to throw that out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It was pretty
Thank
good.
you.
it is very pretty.
So
Yep.
while I'm hiding, I'm going to slink my way up to the edge of the shoreline, still in the grass, to see if I get a peek at this reptilian thing in the lake.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I would say make another perception check.
It's my sheet here.
While he's doing that, I do have to do a wild magic roll real quick.
Yep.
Okay, and no wild magic. We're good.
Good deal.
15 on the perception.
Okay. So as you're kind of looking, the surface of the water is mostly still, and you've kind of moved off to the side a little bit from where the party originally approached. But as you look up at the portal, its perspective seems to have stayed with you, kind of like a statue that its eyes seem to follow you. The portal seems to rotate and face you constantly. Regardless of like how you move from side to side, it never seems to move, but you're always looking directly at it. And looking at the surface of the water, you don't see any sign of the previous serpentine creature from before, but you do see just a ripple kind of crest up, and you hear, it almost sounds like something speaking, and then the ripple kind of dives back under, and the water is smooth once more.
Okay. Guys, are we gonna kill it?
It hasn't displayed any reason to kill it.
It's gonna eat me first, and then you'll have reason. But I would like it not to.
I don't know if I would have reason to kill it even then.
Is
We
there
have
a
two. We have
fish?
two dead
Wow. Oh.
Baragil will walk sort of around the lake to see if he can find any more evidence of the kobolds that were here.
Okay.
Not kobolds, kobolds.
Yeah, I got you.
You've mentioned monsters several times, but no one seems to answer my question. Is there a fish? Or
It looked like a snake, a big snake.
Are you looking
Oh.
for a fish, Gormer?
yes,
Make a... So for you, this would be a nature check.
nature check.
Yeah.
I do have that.
So as
For me.
Barrakiel is what did you say? 3?
3,
You
Oh,
don't
wait,
see
no.
any fish.
5.
Oh, yeah. Still don't see any fish. There are no fish in
Guys
this
are-
pond. Barrakiel, as you're walking around the edge looking for more armor, you do find some more pieces, and they're just broken and scored with these large scratch marks. And you do find a few pieces that look to have bits of blood still clinging to them.
I will say to so I'm gonna be real bad with names for a little bit.
That's all good.
I'll say to Gorma, you have fought monsters before. Do you recognize what could have done this? And I'll throw him a piece of armor.
Catch it, as he has no problem catching things.
Yep.
Kind of look it over. It's dented.
Yep.
Um,
Dented and scored, like either scratch or bite marks all across them.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do something like an Arcana check or check to sort of.
I could roll nature again. That's about the closest to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I could. I mean, I don't.
I can
I'm
do
not skilled
Arcana.
in nature,
Yep,
but
if-
can
I
help
also
there?
have on Arcana.
Okay. Do you want to roll separately, or do one of you want to roll with advantage?
I will assist.
All right. So Ozzy, you can roll with advantage on an Arcana check.
I rolled a 21 on nature.
Oh, nice.
It's a 13 rolled better. So 13 for Arcana.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything magical about the damage inflicted on the armor. You're not really sure if you know of any spells or magical effects that would look like this. Gormer, on the other hand, as you kind of look at it and recalling everything you know about animals and monsters that you've seen in the past, they definitely look like claw marks and teeth marks. It's very similar to a crocodile, but larger.
I have seen crocodiles do things like this. I have a weird idea. I'm gonna
As long as we don't kill it.
form. He'll just kind of raise a finger, and I'm gonna form a radiant sunbolt.
Okay.
Not enough for an actual attack, just a little glowing ball of light,
Mhm.
and he's gonna skip it across the water.
Okay. All right. Let me.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna take that piece of beef jerky that I didn't feed the dog, and I'm gonna chuck that into the middle of the lake.
We go lure fishing.
And
Okay.
may I hold an action that if something hostile pokes its head up, I'm going to throw a javelin at it.
Sure. Okay. So as Gormer kind of skips this beam of radiant energy across the surface of the water, there doesn't seem to be a reaction. But once the jerky kind of arcs over and then drops into the surface of the water, you guys hear and see this large splashing of water, and you just hear this just this huge growl come out of the mouth of this reptilian head that breaks the surface of the water, and it just chomps down on the jerky and dives back under, but not before does Barakil unleash his
Oh
javelin.
yeah,
All
like
right.
that looks violent.
All right, make your attack roll, please.
Oh,
Oh boy.
fucking crit. Where is it? Oh, can you see it? No.
No.
Not 20.
I trust you. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
First attack roll.
yeah.
It's a crit.
Yeah. Very nice. So roll your damage.
So that's that'll be 2d6. Oh, what's the javelin? Is javelin d6? I think so.
2d6, I think.
The javelin's just D6, yeah.
Yeah, so javelin is d6.
You can
so
smite with it though.
You can't. It's only a melee attack.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. I was hoping that I could fight it. I can't. So that's 9 plus 4. That's 13 points of piercing damage
Okay. So
as he launches this javelin with expert precision into the center of the lake.
yeah, so as the javelin kind of embeds itself in the side of the neck of this creature, it just lets out this horrible and you see just this gout of bright red spurt from the wound And how much damage did you say? 13?
13 points of damage.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. So, and it kind of dives under the surface, and then is anyone else doing anything? We are considering this a surprise round before we go into initiative. Like, as he hits it with the javelin, is anyone else doing anything?
Pacifica probably backs up from the edge at least 15 feet,
Okay.
and Bjorn immediately gets in front of her and goes into an aggressive stance to hold an attack,
Okay.
in case anything gets close to her.
I am going to, on the edge of the water, just stay where he is, but he's going to take the dodge action.
Okay. So you're kind of readying yourself to avoid an attack. Stitch?
I'm still hiding.
Yep, you're still stealth. And Ozzy?
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, what's happening? And we are at the edge of the lake. No one is standing in the water, except for Brickle. He's like on the edge of it.
Yep.
Like where the water meets the land.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe Stitch was also like at the edge of the lake as well.
Stitch is at
Correct,
the edge.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you put me down, Gormer, where were you standing?
I'm at the edge of the lake.
Okay, so I'm standing there, and I just kind of I've got nothing right now. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay.
Just watch the thing get hit. I'm like, oh god. Okay.
All right. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna have everybody roll initiative, please.
Gonna roll it for my dog too.
Yes.
Can't even believe. Gonna roll my dog first because he's important.
So I got a. So I don't think I have any bonuses to my initiative. Nope, I get a 4.
All
I'm at 14.
right. So we'll go in order. Let's go 20 or higher. Okay. 20 to 15. Oh, wow.
We're sad.
15 to 10.
Bjorn is 10. Pacifica is 11.
Okay, so Gormer got a 14.
I also got a 14.
Okay. Who has the higher dex?
And I
have
also had a 14.
16.
Oh, wow.
16 decks.
All right. So
I have a
14's
plus
a
6
popular.
dex as well.
holy crap. All right. So you guys can all decide who goes first.
Gormer, go ahead. You go first.
All right.
I'll go third.
And I shall go last.
And Barry,
This may be a
Barry
theme.
goes
I'm not dexterous.
You got a 4?
4, yeah.
All right. And what did Pacifica and Bjorn get? Sorry, I'm making my notes.
It's
here.
okay. Pacifica got an 11, and Bjorn got a 10. Best doggo.
All right. Okay, so as the javelin hits the creature and it lets out this terrible screech, it dives back under the water, and you guys kind of see its form disappear, and then near the edge of the water, let's see. Oh, no. It would not be. It would be roughly 20 feet out from the edge of the water. It kind of comes back up, and it's just screeching again. And that's as far as it can move, and nobody is actually in the water. So, it's going to bite out, just kind of jaws snapping at the air. And you see this large serpentine head again, and it is attached to an even larger body. It's basically the Loch Ness Monster. That's what it looks like for reference.
Oh, yuck.
Gormer, at this point,
Yuck.
you might recognize this as a plesiosaurus.
Never seen one before.
They don't belong here.
Gotcha.
They don't belong in lakes
Or ponds.
They belong in locks.
or in ponds. Yes, they belong in locks. That is true. Yeah. So that is its turn. Gormer, Stitch, and Ozzy, you are up next. What are you doing?
I'm going to just call out, "We didn't mean to hurt you," using speech of beast and leaf. So I'm going to try to charisma to influence it to calm down a little bit.
All right. Yeah, roll that.
Oh no!
My charisma sucks, just so you know. 13.
13. Oh, let's see here. Oh wow. Yeah, it rolled a 2.
Oh.
So, and it has a -3 to its charisma, so it's a negative
I've got
1.
I've got a -1. You're good.
So it does stop. Like, it stops roaring, and it just kind of tilts its head to the side, just looking at.
It's all right.
Yeah, it is no longer thrashing about and angry looking. I guess it looks more confused right now than anything else.
And I'm going to hold a Radiant Sunbolt just in case it decides to change that.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Stitch or Ozzy?
What do you want to do, Stitch?
Your call.
All right, I'll go next. So he's yelling out at the same time like I'm casting my spells. And, like, cards are, like, flinging from my hands. And I'm going to use my sorcery points. I'm going to use 2 of them to do Magic Missile as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then cast Firebolt as my regular action.
Okay.
So, Magic Missile, 5, 6, 8. 9 total points for the Magic Missile.
Okay.
And then didn't do anything for Wild Magic, and the Firebolt, 16 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And I'll do
With
a
your-
D10.
With your magic missile, are they like additional cards that you're firing out?
Oh
with
yeah,
magic
they're like cards that just seem to burn up into little fiery darts. So cards are just going out, and that'll be 1 point of damage for Firebolt.
All right. Okay.
Are you playing Gambit?
That's what I was just thinking. It's Gambit.
A little halfling, angry, exploding Gambit. Yeah.
All right.
Just don't start calling people Shri.
So as this creature is kind of looking confused at Gormer and seems to be calming down a bit, it gets slammed in the side with 2 bolts of energy, one of which doesn't seem to have much of an effect, but the first one definitely seems to rock it a bit, and it just kind of snarls again.
I'll yell out like, "Can we make up our minds? Are we killing it or not? Why are we? What? Why are you?"
I
Oh
didn't
my
want to
God.
kill it.
Okay. All right. Now it's Snitch.
Yep.
All right. So here I go. I'm gonna move it like super speed and kind of Jesus this thing across the lake. Oh yeah, that's a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits. Roll your damage.
All right. Which is trash. Hold on one sec. I gotta go back. 1 sec. That's 6 damage.
Okay.
Do I get my sneak attack bonus on that?
It was unaware that you were there, so yes.
I was going to say, as a swashbuckler, you get your sneak attack if
Oh, that's right,
you're
'cause
the
the,
only person within 5 feet of it. So
Well, you also get the normal sneak attack bonuses as well.
yes,
Yeah.
So, like,
So
yeah.
swashbucklers basically all get,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So
unless they've
so-
got 2 enemies.
So
them,
that's
give me that,
another
no allies.
5.
So just give me the total.
Let me see here. 11. 15.
15 damage. Sheesh.
And then I'm going to take disengage as a bonus action,
Okay.
and I'm going to run back into the grass.
All right.
I mean, swashbucklers don't have to disengage.
Oh, that's right. The fancy footwork. I forgot all about it.
So do you want to take hide as your
bonus action to dash out of?
But can I use hide as a bonus action as well?
I believe
I can get back into hiding from where.
Let's say it was 20 feet away, so you would have had to move 20 feet. I mean, you can use your tabaxi agility or whatever it's called to get in and out, and then hide because you're.
Yeah, then I guess I'll go back into hiding then.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll your stealth check for your hide, and then that will bring us to.
It's like a 26.
Yeah. Again, you feel very stealthy. Not a sound.
Where's he gone?
Pacifica, it is now your turn. You've just watched this creature get wrecked by spells and weapons, and it's reeling. It is bleeding from wounds, and it is looking pretty badly damaged at this point. It is not looking happy.
So Pacifica just kind of like sniffles a little. How far out into the water did you say it was?
It's about 20 feet away from you, if you're on the edge of the water.
Okay, so she's gonna move to where she's at least 30 feet away from it.
Okay.
And she is going to cast Animal Friendship.
Okay. That works on beasts, correct?
It works on a beast that you can see within range.
All right. Yeah. Is that a wisdom save?
Yeah, does it have an intelligence higher than... I mean, does it?
Intelligence higher than what? Sorry, you cut out.
4.
No, it does not.
Oh. Then the spell fails.
It...
Auto fail.
Oh, if it has an intelligence lower than 4, it fails?
Yeah, because it's not intelligent enough.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, be friends.
It is not bright.
So, she uses the rest of her movement to, like, move back a little bit.
Okay. Alright. What is Bjorn doing? Is he just sticking with you?
Yeah, he's... Unless he's engaged with, assume he's going to be readying a bite attack.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright. And that brings us back to Barakil.
Yep. So Barakil's action. How deep is this water?
You're not sure. It's holding this monster about 20 feet off of shore, and this thing looks pretty large. So you gather it's probably at least 50 feet deep.
Okay. So Barakil draws his sword and stabs it into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And pulls off his mask, at which point you see brilliant, what looks like sunlight, radiant sunlight, sort of explode from his eyes and mouth, and pretty much all of his flesh turns white and glows. The ground near him it starts to get sort of singed and burnt, and he screams, "You do not belong here!" and sort of challenges out at the what's it called? The Plesiosaurus, and tries to get its attention and draw it towards him.
Okay.
The thing I did was radiant consumption, which basically anything within 10 feet of me starts to take damage.
Okay.
And I also take damage from it.
Okay.
But I shall track that on my sheet.
Yes.
I take like a damage.
Okay. Yeah, it is currently still about 20 feet out. It has not moved close enough to take that yet, but that is good to know.
If it does move towards me,
Yep.
which I'm hoping it will, yeah, I'm like, like he's holding up his like great sword, and he's like thrown the mask to the ground, and yeah.
All right.
Just.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is now the plesiosaur's go. Having taken a fair amount of damage, but not being terribly intelligent, it is going to keep coming. So it actually does move closer, and let's see. I'm gonna roll to see which one it goes for. All right. It's gonna turn to the easier looking target, which is the tiny little man.
No. Can I take my held action then?
Yes. As it begins to move forward. Yes.
All right. Then the little seed of sunlight he's been kind of holding in his palm will blossom into almost what looks like a lotus, and he'll just, with a flourish, kind of launch it out.
All right.
I don't think it's 13 hits, does it?
That just hits.
Just hits. Excellent. So, so that's going to be a total of 7 radiant damage.
All right. So as the creature begins to dart forward, Gormer reaches out his hand and unleashes this spell, and it once again impacts the side of the creature, and it lets out another screech, but continues coming towards Ozzy. How far away were you from the edge?
Oh, yeah, I was pretty close to the
right
edge.
at the edge.
God.
Yeah, it makes it right up to the edge of the water.
Okay.
And like still staying within the water, but it has a very long neck, and it's gonna come down with a bite towards you. So we're gonna roll that.
Okay, I'm casting shield as a reaction.
Okay. So
my AC will be 19.
20.
Okay. So as
20?
Because I have 14 AC.
Oh,
and plus 5
with the mage armor, with the mage armor, and then the shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as this arcane shield comes up, is it made of cards too?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a wave of cards. That's cool.
Just a wave of cards come up.
As it comes up,
like he becomes it's a card rock. He just is like hiding on.
This massive jaw just comes down towards you, and as it closes, it kind of grazes off the side of this wall of cards to no effect.
Okay.
But
I have to roll
it is now in front of you, and yes,
magic.
please roll your wild magic.
Okay. Do you want to pick the wild magic surge? Because it's a 1.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna roll a d10 twice. Oh god. Okay. That would be 90.
Ooh.
If I die within the next minute, I immediately come back to life as if the reincarnate spell.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I mean,
That comes in handy.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
That's very handy.
nice.
All right.
Oh wait, nope. Sorry, that's 91, 92. That would have been awesome, but actually, no. I become invisible for the next minute.
Okay.
During that time, other creatures can't hear you. The invisibility ends if you attack or cast a spell.
Okay, so
Alright.
as Ozzy throws this wall of cards up and this creature's face just kind of glances off of it, as the wall fades away and these cards just kind of flutter down and disappear into nothing, Ozzy's gone.
Oh my gosh,
The
he's a
short one
circus
was eaten.
performer.
Nope. Yep. He just got
I mean,
eaten.
he's a weird magic dude, and he just fucking disappeared.
I don't know
That's
if I
awesome.
like him very
That's
much
so
right now.
cool.
That's creepy.
That's fantastic. I'm so
Just
far.
a flutter of
Yep,
cards
yep.
start disintegrating.
So
We
far,
might
I
have
really
to have
like
a
wild magic.
discussion.
Okay, so as this happens, let's see, Stitch. You had the highest perception roll earlier, I believe.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking around. So you're still kind of keeping tabs on your surroundings, and on the peripheral of your vision, you just kind of feel more than see, but then you look over and you see 2 figures kind of just appear out of thin air. And immediately, as they appear, their appearance is striking. They're relatively short. One of them is about a head shorter than the other one, and they are wearing identical sets of clothing, just different colors. Let me grab my notes here. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they both look about the size of halflings. Just one is maybe a head taller. And that one is dressed in a bright green tunic with blue trousers, and he's wearing kind of a strange cap on his head and has a solid black, very bushy handlebar mustache that kind of curls up at the edges. And he is holding what appears to be a metal rod, maybe about this long, maybe a foot and a half-ish, that has a 90-degree bend at the tip of it. And the other one, the shorter one, is wearing red and blue, red shirt, blue trousers, and again, they look almost exactly alike, but his mustache comes down instead of curling up. And he is also holding one of these metal implements. And they're both kind of standing at the edge of the water, looking at all of this happening. And you see the taller one, the green one, begin casting a spell on the surface of the ground. And then he steps onto the area where he had just put his hand. And you see him kind of levitate off the ground. And he begins moving forward across the surface of the water on what looks to be a disc of just air.
So first off, does their clothing mean anything to me? Do I recognize that particular garb?
No, this is really weird looking. You've never seen people dressed like this, really. I mean, there are people that wear colorful clothing, but for them to have identical outfits that are just different colors, it's a little weird.
Fairies.
Do I get the vibe that these dudes are here up to no good, or are they here on our side?
Well, you were told that every time one of these portals appears, the two men show up and like take care of the portal and then disappear.
They're plumbers.
That was part of your briefing earlier that I did not go over. My apologies.
No, I think you did actually. I might have just missed that.
Yeah, you did mention them.
Cool. Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, I think about you did.
The internet will tell me if I got it wrong.
Yeah. As long as one's not wearing yellow and one's wearing purple, we should be
Internet
fine.
DM.
Oh my god. Alright, so how far away are they from me?
They are, at this point, the one is moving forward in towards where the battle is happening, so he's maybe, at this point, like 40 feet from you. The other one is still at the shoreline, and he looks to be, like, holding ready in case anything happens. So he's probably about 60 feet away.
The guy on the shoreline's about 60 feet away.
The one in red.
Okay. And how far is the plesiosaurus from me?
It moved towards Ozzy, so right now it's less than 20 feet.
And I'm sorry not to drag this out, but I'm the only one who noticed the two guys.
At this point, yes.
All right, so I'm gonna slink behind in the grass and kind of line myself up behind the guy waiting on the shore.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold an action.
What are you holding? And what's the trigger?
Can I hold grapple?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, I'm gonna hold grapple. So if the other guy with the wand levitating attacks any of the party, I'm gonna grapple this dude.
Okay. All right. So, as you're kind of behind him holding that action, we'll go based on your earlier stealth roll because you're still kind of slinking through the grass the same way. I'll roll a perception check for him real quick. Nope. He does not appear to have noticed you. So you are behind this individual and waiting to grab him if something looks hinky. So that brings us back to our initiative order. So it'd be Gormer.
All right. Believing that his new friend has just been devoured in a single bite, he'll also, like the Aasimar, kind of light up his cheeks and the ends of his ears, and his eyes will begin to softly glow as he forms another, or kind of spins another lotus to life between his hands as he begins to dance. I am going to do another Radiant Sunbolt, and I'm going to spend the key point to send 2 more.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 attacks in total.
All right, roll those, please.
All right, so that is a 16, a 16, and a 20.
All hit.
Excellent.
Roll that damage.
So the way when he throws the lotus, the 2 petals will branch off and form their own bolts.
I like that.
So that is a total of, give me a sec, so it's plus 9 additional from the dex added, so 16 damage.
Dang. All right. Yeah, so as the lotus kind of floats forward after being thrown from Gormer's hand, and the 2 missiles kind of branch off of it, and all 3 just impact this creature, it gives out another horrible screech, and it is looking like it is bleeding from multiple wounds. It has burn marks all up its torso, and it is looking just on death's door. It does not look long for this world.
With a pained tone, Gorman will yell out, "You can't have a home here! You won't survive!"
Okay.
Osborne is just like laughing.
But
Just
we can't hear him.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just like what? Okay. Is it Ozzy's turn now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Unless Stitch wanted to do something in the meantime. You're still just holding your grapple?
I'm just waiting.
Alright. So yes, Ozzy.
Okay. I will take this time, so I look up realizing that I'm not have been eaten, and then everyone's around me acting strangely, and Gormer's yelling, and I try to yell at him, and he doesn't hear me, and so I'm assuming like behind us is a bit of a tree line for the lake.
Yeah.
Okay. I will Misty Step back to the tree line. It takes me 30 feet.
Okay.
Which will cause the invisibility to stop.
Right.
And I have to roll on the wild. Okay, we're doing another wild magic.
Oh, no.
This is where you explode.
Yes.
Luckily, he Misty stepped away, so if he does explode,
Yeah.
he doesn't take any of us with us.
Alright.
Okay, that's 73.
Okay.
Um,
I'm looking at it right now.
a random creature within 60 feet of me becomes poisoned for 1d4.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy. Okay.
So 60 feet,
So within 60 feet, that's...
and it's random.
You moved
Kinda
30
everybody.
feet before that.
Yeah.
So that would hit Gormer. It would hit Pacifica and Bjorn. And the Plesiosaur. And possibly Barrakiel as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stitch is the only one out of the range at this point.
Awesome.
So, let's see, that's...
So the chances of it being friendly fire are very high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 3, 4 for Bjorn, and 5 for the monster. If it hits a 6, we'll re-roll. That's a 4. So that is Bjorn.
Oh, my baby!
Sorry.
Awful.
I'm so sorry. And he is poisoned for 1d4 hours.
Yeah, so he gets
Ooh.
disadvantage for all attack and ability checks.
Okay, so that's 2.
So your dog starts throwing
That's
up.
a 2. Yeah, at your
And then
side,
eats it.
Bjorn, like, he just kind of seems to shrink down into himself a little and just kind of begins panting really heavily and then just vomits up whatever
Pacifica
meal
immediately
you made.
starts looking around like, what the fuck?
It must have been that jerky smell.
Yeah. That
No,
damn
she
jerky.
immediately is suspecting foul play because people have been awful to her before.
Oh man. Okay. So.
And that's my turn. So
Yeah. Okay. So now it is Pacifica's turn. Bjorn is currently just vomiting at your side.
Oh,
very pitifully.
My goodness, my puppy. All the audience is angry right now.
Sorry, that's how the dice rolled.
How dare you hurt the pupper?
Oh God. Now I know how Mercer feels. Hey, at least I didn't kill him.
I mean,
Yeah. That would have been a very unpopular thing to happen.
Yeah.
especially at
First
session
session,
1.
the DM kills the puppy.
I don't think this streaming thing is working out, guys.
You came here to see D&D. You're gonna get some animal cruelty. Here we go.
Alright, so
It's terrible.
Pacifica, if I'm being in character, she like immediately drops down to like check on her dog. And let me see. Yeah, she's
Pure poison.
she's gonna. No, she doesn't. She is going to waste a spell slot and her action to cast Cure Wounds on her dog since he got hurt.
Poor guy. So you put your hands kind of scrunching up the scruff of his neck, and release the healing energy.
Oh, I was going to say, you have a healing potion, you could have tried that.
But, yeah, it doesn't seem to have an effect. He's still kind of... just kind of dry heaving at this point. It's still fairly early in the day, so he hasn't had much food yet.
Yeah, she's like crying and freaking out now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bjorn. We're gonna get some art of Bjorn.
It's just...
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
So, that is Pacifica's turn. Bjorn, unfortunately, spends his turn dry heaving. So bad. Barakiel, you hear about 30 feet behind you this dog just kind of...
He doesn't seem to hear that. He is sort of engulfed with this holy fury, and he screams at the dinosaur that it doesn't belong here, and he charges at it with his greatsword held aloft.
Okay.
And so first,
what is your movement speed?
30.
Oh yeah, yep. You make it right up to it.
Yep. So first, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
So let me just cast Thunderous Smite, and then like his voice is thundering, and he rolls a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah. So I'm also going to use Divine Smite.
Oh boy.
You
don't even need to roll for this.
Oh.
If you want to, you can, just to see how bad it is. But you don't have to.
In which case, I should just use the Thunderous Smite.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do 4. I think it's 4d6 damage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go ahead
46
and
plus 4 damage.
Plus 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
reroll because of that, and I get the same. So that's 10, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage.
Yeah, how do you want to put this creature out of its misery?
And then I also do damage from my radiant aura. So basically, he swings, like, the Plesiosaur prey still has its neck outstretched from where it was attacking before. And yeah, this sword comes down in, like, this, like, sort of lightning fast cut. And then, as if from nowhere, it seems like a bolt of lightning hits the sword as it impacts the floor. And yeah, there's just a huge explosion as his sword hits the floor, and when the dust settles, the Plesiosaurus's head is in one place and its body is in another.
And it is already beginning to char.
Yeah, and you can see like cracks starting to form around Barakil's eyes and mouth before he puts the mask back on.
Okay.
And ceases glowing.
Okay. So yeah, as Barakil finishes destroying this plesiosaur, and it kind of just slumps to the side, and then it just slowly, its body slowly sinks back into the water. You guys kind of take a moment, and you all see behind the now gone body, where the man in green is levitating on this disc and is just kind of floating towards you all. And now you all see what Stitch saw earlier. This green fellow with a weird wand floating on the water.
Do I see what's happening with Bjorn, by the way?
Yeah, at this point, I think you would look around and see Pacifica
Pacifica is
kneeling
crying.
over him, just sobbing.
Yeah. Would you say that this guy floating towards us is within 60 feet?
Yes, at this point he would be.
In which case, I turn my eye upon him, use Divine Sense to see if he is undead, celestial, or fiend.
Okay, you do. You kind of reach out with your innate ability given to you, and nope, you don't sense any of those.
Yeah, are there any... I mean, he's not, but are there any other celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet of me?
Not that you sense, no.
Only myself.
Yep, only you.
Yep.
Just a center ding.
Walk over to Pacifica.
Okay.
Is he all right?
I don't know. He's never done this before. Not like this, at least.
I'd like to use my herbalism kit to make an antitoxin.
Oh, I was going to say...
Would you like me to roll that?
As he's
make a medicine check.
eating, Barakil probably would just put his hand on the dog's head and use 5 lay on hand points to curative poison.
Oh, okay. All right. So as Gormer is kind of like furiously mixing up in his little mortar and pestle, little portable one, or however
18.
however Gormer does it. Okay, yeah, you do. You make something very confident.
More poultices and things, less grinding, more.
But Barakil just kind of puts his hand on Bjorn's head, and you see this vibrant flash of light, and Bjorn just
much
kind of,
softer than what poured out of his eye.
Right, and Bjorn seems to grow back into himself almost, just kind of stands up straight again, and kind of looks over at Barakil, and as you withdraw your hand, he just kind of nuzzles into it and gives it a lick, and then turns to Pacifica and just does one of those like big dog hugs that they do, where he just kind of rears up on his hind legs and just kind of and just starts licking you.
It
smells terrible.
Thank you, both of you, for trying to help, and he's okay now.
He'll gently take one of her hands and just place the antitoxin in it.
Okay.
If it happens again.
Oh, thank you so much.
Barakil just says it was not this dog's time to die.
Oh.
You're
right.
So serious, Barakil. At this point, the gentleman in green has reached the edge of the water, and he's just kind of looking around at the head of the plesiosaur, the plesiosaurus, and just kind of shrugs and begins floating back towards his partner, without really acknowledging you guys. But then, as he's floating, another large serpentine head breaks the surface of the water, and it's very close to him. And as it does, he kind of is startled and throws up a hand, and in the other he's holding, he's kind of like this, and he's holding the wand and thrusts the wand forward, and the monster stops and just kind of quietly rests, and then turns and heads towards the portal and begins attempting to climb into the portal, which is a strange sight because it is it's about 10 feet off the surface of the water. So this thing, like, it gets its head and neck in, and then it has to, like, hook one giant foreleg over it and another, and it's trying to squeeze itself through. And he's just the whole time the man in green has his wand outstretched, seemingly controlling what this beast is doing, or at least giving it instructions.
Yeah.
For the first time really taking note of the man, he'll stand back up and, "Hello, new friend."
He kind of, as he's holding the wand out, just kind of looks to the side and is like, "Hello, friend!" And just turns back to what he was doing.
Oh.
So it's fair to say he's distracted by this beast trying to get back in the portal?
Yes.
So can I quietly, like almost like John Rambo type, sneak out of the grass, grab his other buddy with the dagger, and kind of pull him back into the weeds?
Wow. Oh, yeah. Make a grapple check with advantage, because he does not know you are there, and I will have to pull up his sheet.
So that's strength athletics?
That would be,
either, yes, either strength athletics or...
All right, so this has been like
acrobatics.
a good stream, guys. This is how we all die, right here. Good.
Not you. You've ran into the trees.
Oh, yeah. I've watching, oh, God.
That is a 14 to athletics. You said with advantage, I'm sorry.
Yeah, with advantage.
Still a 14.
Okay. Yeah, you grab him, and as you do, like, he's a slippery guy, and he just kind of wriggles out of your grasp and turns to face you, and he's holding the wand up in kind of a defensive position, and he just kind of puts one hand out. He's just like, "Hold! Are you with them?"
But
And he
by them, you mean
points to the rest of the party.
I'm with them.
"I did not see you in the fight."
I was there earlier.
And he kind of...
I yell out, "Stitch, are you okay?"
And then you see this big paw come out from the grass. give the thumbs up.
Just kind of looking around at the voice. He does this sometimes.
Well, you can see Ozzy now.
Oh.
Well, other than the grass, he's still shorter than the grass, but...
I was going to say, we would have to cut him out of this beast here. It appears he's around somewhere.
Yeah. So the man in red, who's kind of in a standoff with Stitch, lowers his wand. And says, "We are not here to fight you. We are simply here on a mission to bring these creatures back to their plane of existence."
So you said to bring them back, so which would lead me to believe that you did not bring them here.
That is correct. We are not sure who is bringing them here.
Why don't you identify yourself to anyone or, like, seek help?
What was that? He's about, 50, 60 feet away.
Why don't you identify yourself to anyone?
I apologize. Our main concern was to get these creatures back to where they came from. Our hope was that we could return them alive. You can see my brother is currently wresting one back into the portal. However, its mate did not fare so well, it seems.
What are your names?
Oh, I am called Raimo. That would be Raimo.
Oh Jesus! Who didn't see that coming? And your brother?
That's Guili. 3 guesses on how to spell that shit.
I could only imagine.
I told you there would be dumb pop culture references. I told you. I warned you.
Guili.
Guili. Yep. At this point, you guys see that Guili has managed to get the alive Plesiosaurus back into the portal, and is turning to come back towards his brother.
I look at them both. I say, "Are you missing a princess?"
They kind of both look confused. Surprisingly, we are. No. No, I do not believe so.
All right. So you guys have no idea where these are coming from? Any of the slightest inkling?
As far as we have been able to surmise, because we just happen upon these in our travels. We are directed to them, and we fix them.
Who employs you to do such?
Making his way around.
What was that?
Oh, at this point, Gorman would be slowly making his way back
Okay.
around.
Who employs you to do this?
It employs, I don't think is the right term, but we are called. It is our duty. It's our job, if you will. I forget that when we were on this plane, you folk have occupations. I suppose you could say that ours is the business of fixing rips into the elemental plane of water.
Well, we've been kind of sent here to investigate this, and I guess to a certain degree stop it.
Oh, we would like to stop it as well.
Any guess on how we do that?
Ideally, it would be to gather more information about who is causing these, or what, and stop them, eliminating the root of the problem. We have had no leads so far. We're hard pressed to keep pace. Every time one of these opens, it seems larger and more dangerous. This is the most danger that has come out of one of these portals since we began encountering them about 2 months ago.
And these portals are not just here on this plane?
The most recent ones have only been on the material plane, but there are tears to the plane of water in other realms as well. But the most egregious offenses usually happen on the material plane. There are people who grow hungry for power or knowledge and seek to gain it by opening a portal into our world. It usually ends badly for them.
And what world is that you're from? Elemental plane of water?
Yes.
You don't look very fishy. Well.
We kind of look at each other. Well, we are not fish.
Brachial talks. He's got jokes. I knew you weren't just an asshole.
Just mostly.
Guili at this point, like he's come up and he's been listening to the conversation, and just from the way they're kind of standing, you gather he's not really the talker of the two, but there's this very slight smirk hiding under the mustache. Yes, Pacifica?
So yeah, Pacifica did raise her hand like she's a student. And she's like, so basically what I'm gathering is we can't close that. Is that like a thing only you guys can do?
I'm not aware of the magic that you possess as a group, but I would wager that we are the ones who are capable of closing it, yes.
If that's the case, can we, like, quote you guys? And because we were sent here to, like, take care of that. And if we can't take care of it, then we might be in big trouble.
Oh, yes, by all means. And so the two of them kind of get onto that same disc that's still hovering a little above the ground, and they float back out to the portal. And you see the two of them raise the weird metal wands towards the portal, and the portal begins to shake, and the sides begin to quiver, and the pulsing of the waves of blue and white begin to emanate faster and faster and faster until it just closes in on itself and is gone.
While that was happening, I was struck with thunder, and I used my prestidigitation to make a portrait of that in the side of a playing card.
All right. You do that.
Excellent.
That is very impressive. Could you teach us to do that?
I don't know. I just do things.
Oh no, them. That is also very impressive, but I don't need to do that.
So as they come back, they hear Gormer asking this question, and the two of them kind of look at each other, and then they I don't believe so. This is something that is innate within our family. We come from a long line of interplanar travelers who have a sacred duty to close rifts in the planes and to help when one of these is opened.
So is that one going to open again?
I have not encountered an instance where a portal appears in the same place twice in the time that we have been here. No. I cannot say for certain.
Okay.
Barakiel says, well, it looks like we should take these things with us. Back to wherever it was that we came from. I should know the name of, but
Back to Hoster?
Yes.
The village?
Yes. Yeah. And he hands Ozzy the scroll of sending and tells him to send a report back to the main town that we came from.
What if they don't believe it?
Talene, yes. Well, what's not to believe? They sent us here to see a portal. We saw a portal. It's gone now.
Then a bunch of magic guys just appeared and made it go away?
Well, this magic guy disappeared.
They magicked us out here. We just appeared and made it go away.
Well, if they don't believe us, don't say I didn't warn you.
Ozzy's got record of it on those playing cards.
Yeah, it's at this point that Gweely will speak up, and if you need us to come and talk to your leaders, we shall. But we cannot
that would
stay
be
long.
very kind.
We cannot stay long.
I like the living proof, guys.
Okay.
Shall we take the creature?
Chris,
back
is your
as well?
is your mic unplugged?
Yep, I was mute for a second.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was just talking to myself over
You
here.
were invisible. It's fine.
That was the wild magic.
Yeah.
Some more happened, and I was mute.
Random wild magic.
Just talking to myself like an
Yeah.
idiot.
But yeah, so if we're taking these people back to the village we came from, yeah, Barakiel will stand sort of behind them as we walk to make sure that they don't try anything, funny.
Okay. All right. So you guys are all heading back to Hoster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sit on the fence. I'm like, awesome, guys, great job.
You're coming
Head
with
on
us, Ozzy.
We'll pluck a few flowers.
I'm still wearing the cards, by the way. It's for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Still cards.
And then if he's sitting on the fence, I'll just take that as a sign that he's looking to go back on the shoulder for the travel. So we'll just give the creature a few flowers and then go pick him up as we walk.
Okay. They accept them with a confused expression, but...
Oh, no, the Plesius.
Oh, okay.
Leave them
Gotcha.
on the Plesius.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. I think Barakiel probably would have dragged it onto the ground, so it didn't get mixed up in the water. It could just biodegrade into
The whole thing?
I'll roll for it.
All right.
I'll help you with
Okay,
that.
all right. So, yeah, so you can either roll separately, or one of you can roll with advantage.
I'd say roll with advantage because my strength is miserable.
My strength is not miserable, so I should roll with advantage. Strength athletics?
Yep.
25.
25. Yeah, with Gormer's help, you manage to kind of heave the carcass of this beast, and after watching you attempt this, and you're making progress, but the two brothers will also come over and assist with pulling the corpse onto the ground, out of the water.
Yeah,
And it is there.
Just so that it doesn't pollute the pond that they use for their farming.
They both look appreciative of that consideration. They both kind of nod to you in respect.
Yeah.
It is nice.
It
is nice to encounter someone who values water.
Really, this thing should be taken far away, but I do not have that strength. Only the Lord does.
At that, they look a little confused, but they still, cool, whatever. So they walk with you guys back to Hoster, where as you come up to the main, the central home that you know to be Lady Haverston's home/office, you guys kind of knock on the door and are met with a familiar Dragonborn, and kind of opens the door and nervously kind of peeks out. Oh, you returned. Okay. That was quick.
Yes. Hello, Brinker. We have finished what we were sent to do.
He kind of looks past you and sees the two men.
I see you've made some friends. Who are they?
They're important.
Yes.
Alright.
And they
Yeah.
are quite interesting friends as well.
Yeah, they can say what happened. They can explain it in a more eloquent way.
Just a quick question. Did I find both the helmet and Cobalt?
You found the helm and just pieces of armor. It's hard to tell
In
which
which case,
pieces they
I
were.
just
They were just
I just
shredded.
passed the Dragonborn the helmet.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
He kind of just hands it off to another servant, kind of in the
That's a
That's
little
your
disrespectful of the dead.
It is not nice. It is very sad.
Sorry. I'm still learning human and people customs. If you'll follow me.
Me too. We should be friends.
Sure. We should. Yes.
Former, he's a bit too rude.
He said he was learning.
Quite.
Okay.
If you'll follow me, please.
And he kind of very, very curtly gestures into the main antechamber that you guys were in previously. That is just cluttered with books and scrolls. It looks exactly the same as you left it.
As I walk past the Dragonborn, I flip a 6-sided dice to him, and I said, "Hey, you dropped something, Chief."
And
And I keep walking in the room.
grabs it,
Oh, my lucky dice. I was wondering where this had gone.
kind of puts it back in the pouch, seemingly none the wiser. Again, not the brightest. So you guys go back in to meet with Lady Sherelle Haverson, at which point she kind of looks over you all and nods approvingly at you coming back alive. And at that point, she is handed the helm of the Cobalt Guard, and she just kind of holds it in her hands. It's quite large in her hands. And she gently places it on one of the stacks of paper on top of her desk, and just kind of bows in front of it, and then turns back to the rest of you. At which point, Guili and Raimo step forward and begin explaining to her the same thing that they had to you guys. For brevity's sake, we will not play that out. Repeating information.
While they're explaining, I think this is where Pacifica remembers to tell Gormer about the hand thing. And she's just like, okay, so when a lady does this with their hand, you're supposed to get on one knee and take her hand and give her a kiss on the hand, because you do that as a sign of respect.
Oh,
Yes.
I will remember that. Thank you.
Yes, you do that when you respect a lady.
Oh, Very well.
Okay. So as you guys are having this conversation, are Ozzy, Barakeel, and Stitch doing anything? As the two brothers are conversing with Lady Haverston and what did I name him?
I
Draco
try
is kind of in
to
the back.
I try to passively glance at the door and ever so slightly, like, take a little step closer to the door.
Oh, okay.
Like, every few moments.
Bjorn is staring.
I would say make a sleight of hand check. We'll roll that for this. And Barakeel, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 11, but I probably wouldn't notice him because I would be in the hallway sending a message to the to Telaris.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment.
Yeah.
All right.
So I rolled a 9, but I'm going to use my Tides of Chaos to roll better.
Okay.
Bjorn has a passive perception of 13.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled 1 better, so a 10. So Bjorn's watching me,
Yeah.
just like
He starts
shuffle a little bit.
growling.
Just
Nice dog. You're a
Gormer
good dog.
looks like he's just working something out in his head.
okay.
Kind of like almost like he's
Is your dog doing anything more than just growl?
I think Bjorn actually would like start moving a little bit and like start shifting towards the door because he ain't here for someone messing up Pacifica going home.
Okay.
Oh.
So this
Hello,
large dog
dog.
just kind of moves next to you. Not being aggressive, just watching.
I stop moving,
Okay. All right.
covered in cards.
Yeah.
This is what you get for making him sick.
You don't know
Yeah,
that.
he doesn't know that.
You don't know that.
Bjorn senses
He just
this.
threw up.
Bjorn will remember this.
No, the dog, no.
So the conversation between the Lady Haverton and the two brothers, is it the same conversation they already told us?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
nothing new.
Yeah, no new information. They just tell her that they have been sent from the elemental plane of water to close these portals, and that they are kind of playing catch up with them. They sense Gesundheit. They sense when they are opened, but it takes them a little while to get to wherever they are. So by the time they get to them, there's usually some amount of damage that's done, and they have been so busy with trying to keep these portals closed that they haven't found out much about who is causing it or who or what is causing it. At which point Lady Haverston will thank them, and then she will turn to you. All of you. I don't mean to assume anything, but you've done some good work here today. Do you perhaps think that you could help us?
I'm always happy to help a friend.
Oh, well, that's nice.
What's it pay?
I think we can arrange a stipend.
Per diem. Yes.
So, here's what I propose.
It's a good thing Barakeel's outside.
Yeah. yeah, that's true. I will contact the keepers and tell them that you are now in my custody. I will become your patron, meaning that I will offer you a stipend and a place to stay when you are here, and you will go out and investigate what these gentlemen cannot.
That was this in the fine print of our punishment?
No,
That someone can just take custody of us?
No, we're helping a friend now.
no, you may go back to the keepers if you wish.
You have a weird sensibility of what friend means.
We're friends, aren't we?
Flowers are friends. I'm a friend. Brachial's a friend. Is Brachial a friend?
I
Oh.
I think so.
Oh.
He helped a dog.
He did.
Where is Brachial? Oh. Can he go
all right,
invisible
so,
too?
So now we will come to Barakiel. You have 25 words. What is your message to... And are you sending it to Absan, or are you sending it to Perrin Yaitara?
So the person that actually sent us on the mission is Paranyeta, right? So it will be to her. And I think the way, in my head at least, the way it works is like he unrolls the scroll and it's got all the magic text on it, and it's got like a portion of it that is blank, in which you write the message, and then it sends it telepathically over great distance.
Yeah.
So I think like he writes in this very like beautiful angelic script. He writes it in Celestial.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because the sending spell doesn't matter what language you send it in, they understand it.
It's just a good flavor aspect. I like it.
Yes. So he writes it in Celestial, and he says that the portals have been closed by beings from the plane of water.
That's 12.
They will continue to do so. We shall...
And it ends. Oh, no, it's 25. 25, sorry, that was 20. Continue. We shall...
Yeah. Shall investigate as well.
Okay. 23 words. Very nice. Love Barakiel.
Yes.
All right, so as you finish writing, the scroll kind of lights up and begins to the words begin to pulse. I'm gonna have you roll an Arcana check real quick, and we are gonna wrap up here.
Yep.
After this.
So Arcana. I'm not the smartest cookie, but I got a 12.
12. That's enough. So the scroll, the letters on it begin to glow brighter and brighter with this kind of orange light, and as they almost seem to lift off of the page, the scroll lifts with it, and then it just begins to burn from the center out, and it is expended, and your message has been sent. And as you're kind of standing there just watching this happen, you hear a voice in your head that says, "Thank you." Let's see. I gotta count for myself.
I was gonna say, thank you. That's a real waste of level spell.
Let's see. It would be from Perrin Yaitara, so yeah, it would be, "Thank you. Please continue to investigate this further. We'll send word when or if we get more information. Don't fuck this up."
She's a nice lady.
Yeah.
You guys do not hear this.
Yes, only I hear this. And yeah, he just sort of writes, like, as it's been said, he writes down the message exactly. And then basically comes back into the room.
Okay.
No knock or anything.
Yeah.
And I assume that's probably as the ladies finish.
Yes.
Please help us for a stipend.
Yep.
And then he just hands the letter to Oswald, and says, "Looks like we're still on the job."
All right. So
Ozzy falls on the floor dramatically.
all right. So that is where we are going to end tonight's session. our session 0, the introductory session to Forever DM No More. Very nice job,
Yay!
everyone. Thank you so much. This was an absolute pleasure, and we look forward to bringing this show to you every week for as long as you will have us. Thank you all for watching. This will be uploaded to YouTube as well. Yeah, we'll be back again, same time next week, and hopefully with no technical difficulties. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We know how to do it now, and OBS won't change its setup. So
of course not.
OBS is well known for not messing it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So thank you all very much for staying with us through the whole show, and we hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time. Follow us on Twitter.
I definitely did.
For more updates, and hopefully next week we'll have Quentin with us, but if not, then he'll be joining us soon, I'm sure. And until then, thank you, and remember to keep it friendly.
Yeah.
Good night.
Awesome.
I don't know how long it's going to last, so I'm going to sit here and smile awkwardly.